When you feel fixation, contraction, something obstructing your experience, often you just notice this moving through the day. Something feels heavy. Something feels unresolved, unaddressed. Like there's a shadow over your experience, but you don't know exactly what it is. Feels uncomfortable in some ill-defined way. What do you do about this? Well, there are many approaches, but I'd like to make one suggestion that can be very helpful in these situations. Just give yourself a few minutes to sit, calm the body, calm the mind to the degree you can. You don't have to enter deep meditative samadhi. Just put away distractions for a few minutes. Then ask yourself this one simple question. What thought am I avoiding right now? Just that simple question. And just look around in your experience. Feel into it. This could be any thought. It could be something like, I just don't want to go to work today. It could be something like, I feel uncomfortable and I don't know why. It could be something like, my wife or my husband isn't treating me well. It could be, I don't know why I'm not awake yet. It could be, I had an awakening and I don't know where it is now, and that's frustrating to me. It could be, I'm feeling pain and I don't want to feel pain. Or I'm feeling something uncomfortable, emotionally uncomfortable, or even physically uncomfortable, and I don't know what to do about it. I want to do something about it, but I don't know what to do about it. It might be something like, I have that anxiety again. It might be a thought like, I don't know what to do right now. I feel restless, or I feel bored, and I don't know what to do. So these are all just examples. Again, you have to ask yourself this question. What thought am I avoiding? What thought am I not wanting to see? Now, once you find that thought that's uncomfortable, whatever it is, could be a doubt thought, could be a fear thought, then bring it closer to you. Let's say the thought is, I don't want to go to work tomorrow because my boss is upset with me. Just intone that thought. Say it to yourself. Sometimes just not seeing the thought clearly has a sort of built-in avoidance, and that's uncomfortable in and of itself. So just be clear on what the thought actually is, what the perception is. I don't want to go to work tomorrow because my boss is going to talk to me about whatever. Just bring that thought as close as you can. Don't resist it. Another way of saying don't resist it is, while you're intoning that thought or thinking that thought or holding that thought in your consciousness, giving it the center of your attention, just feel into your body. Are there areas in the body that feel tight, that feel like they're recoiling away from this experience, that feel restless, dense, squirmy, whatever? Just notice them, that's all. Don't try to fix anything. Then go back to the thought. See if you can stay with that thought without changing it, without trying to solve it, without going farther down the thought stream to imagine a solution. Those are all resistance patterns. But the reaction, the physical reaction to the thought is what's felt in the body. That's a sort of neutral experience when we don't add conjecture, judgment, etc. Just feel. And then come back to the thought. Whatever it is. I don't feel like going to work tomorrow. I'm scared to go to work tomorrow. Whatever it is. Just be clear about it. And just keep it right in the center of consciousness. Tell yourself, I'm not going to move away from this. Do you feel it expanding out? the edges of that thought blurring into consciousness. If there feels like there's polarity, discomfort around the thought still, just check in with your body, drop down into the body, feel it. And whatever's there, it's fine. Just feel it. It could be in the chest, neck, shoulders, head. Notice that that sensation is just what it is. It doesn't need evaluations, understanding, thoughts. It's just there, sort of neutral, even if it seems somewhat uncomfortable. Just feel it. Now return to the thought, whatever the initial thought was, without changing it. In this example, it was, I don't feel like going to work tomorrow. Or I'm afraid to go to work tomorrow because XYZ. Just hold that thought right in the center of consciousness. Do you feel like there's nowhere to go from here? There's nowhere you have to go from here? Do you feel the relief in that? Now, there can be a sense of discomfort still, at the same time that there's a sense of relief. So be aware of that. It's not one or the other. And we do this type of exercise, they're often simultaneous for a while. There'll be that sense of something feels still a little uncomfortable, but at the same time I feel a relief because I don't need to do anything about it. I'm letting it be what it is. I'm letting that thought be what it is. Just explore it in consciousness directly. That doesn't mean think about it. It means explore it in the same way you explore a sensation in the body, directly. And if you forget what the thought was, come back to it. Just intone it one more time. Reattune your attention right to the center of that thought and put that thought in the center of consciousness, the center of your experience. Don't worry about what's happening. Don't worry about progress. Don't analyze how this works. Especially don't analyze how this works. Doesn't matter how it works. It just works. Just hold that thought. And if something feels tight, you feel like you want to run away from it, you feel like a caged animal, just drop down into the body. Feel it. Feel the sensations. Let them have all your attention. Now, you can do this for as long as you want to. At some point, you'll notice it's quite meditative, enjoyable, simple, direct, honest. Now, the only other thing I'm going to add to this is occasionally, once you start to really tune into consciousness around one single thought in this way, the thought sort of blends into consciousness and vice versa, and the mind becomes very calm. Sometimes another perception will start to pop up, another thought. Could be somewhat related, or sometimes it'll surprise you in the way it's related. But if another heavy thought starts to pop up, it's like, oh, here's another thought that I've been avoiding. Here's another thought I haven't wanted to look at. Could be, well, I don't want to go to work and talk to my boss because they're upset with me, but they're upset with me because I missed work last week, and I missed work because I was ill, and I'm worried about feeling sick. I'm worried that my health won't hold out, and so I can't sustain myself. Something like that. Could be anything, but I'm just giving examples. So now the thought is, I'm worried that my health will give out. And again, feel the heaviness of that. Feel it in the body. Let your attention drop into the body. Feel the aspects of that sensation. The center of it. Where does it radiate in the body? Just follow it. Feel it. And then come back to the thought. Reiterate the thought in your mind. Center it in your mind. Let it be. Give it your conscious space. And intone the thought. We're not trying to fix it. We're not trying to get somewhere with it. We're not trying to dissolve anything or heal anything. We're just sort of bearing witness. We're giving it space. And you do this until the neutrality is obvious. Until there's relief, relaxation in the moment. There's neutrality in this entire moment, which includes consciousness, thought, sensation. And remember, it's not black and white. There can be some tension still. There can still be some sense of discomfort. Oh, I don't really like the feeling of this. But at the same time, it's such a relief that I don't have to do anything with it. I don't have to run anywhere to get away from it. That's the key. If you can get to this place of neutrality where that thought can be here 100%, that thought can occupy consciousness here until the thought and consciousness start to blend. And if there's a sensation associated with it, I'm fully willing to allow my attention to drop into the sensation and find the neutrality there, which might also feel uncomfortable. But when you realize that's what wants to be seen, felt, experienced in this moment, you realize that intuitively because you're giving your attention, it starts to have that neutral quality. That, oh, okay, I don't have to go anywhere from here. I don't have to do anything beyond this. That's the key. So try this out anytime you feel something contracted, heavy, a shadow, something you don't want to feel or think or admit to yourself. Just take those simple steps and don't overcomplicate it. The mind loves complication, so if you overcomplicate things, it's easy just to get distracted in thoughts. So this is a simple approach that helps you get to the root of what's actually bothering you and giving it the space of consciousness, space of presence and awareness without overthinking, analyzing, which ultimately leads to more distraction. So you got to find the root thought, the one thought you don't want to think right now, the one thought you don't want to feel, the one thought you're avoiding right now. That's the key.